Hi friends, welcome back to the series Perceiving and Living the New Earth. This is part 2b and my name is Marcia. So from unity, oneness, we could identify what is the cause of all collective problems on earth regarding our living togetherness. And the cause is our stolen direct access to Earth, her resources, and each other's talents. When we know the cause, we know the answer, because we need to correct the robbery, our stolen direct life entrance, access to life. The correction goes through money, existence money, a monthly amount enough to get your basic needs met. And providing all humanity with existence money doesn't cost anything. So now we know how to discern if a solution comes from the old paradigm or the new paradigm, the new earth, regarding our organic living togetherness. And the question you ask yourself is this solution correcting our stolen direct at Earth or not? Does the solution acknowledge that we cost nothing, that we came to Earth to bring our gifts, that we are abundant ourselves, that Earth is abundant, that her resources are abundant, and we need not attract abundance to us. It is already here. We need to stop to rob the abundance. We need to stop to cause all the collective issues. And we found that existence money will work through all the isolated issues, you could say overlays also in the physical world, but also in your mind. The overlays that are indoctrinated in your mind. Access means a monthly amount by which you can have access to your first needs and access to health care. Both existence money and access money to health care, people can spend as they wish. There is no ruling, steering in this. So when we look at the isolated area healthcare, we already know that all information about toxic healing modalities, vaccinations, etc., is already disclosed on the internet. And so many people can inform and educate themselves already. People who have no access to the internet is more difficult. When we want to inform them, of course, there are ways to inform them also. But we must be very carefully that we inform them from a neutral position without steering, ruling, imposing things onto them. In the here and now, the issue is that healing modalities are suppressed or even sued by the industries. People have kind of a free choice, but especially the natural healing modalities are not being compensated by the healthcare insurances. So the issue is the steering, the ruling, the power over. There is lots of information about natural healing modalities. But when people want to go for allopathic drugs, they are totally free to do so. It's people's own responsibility to inform themselves. So the disclosure regarding healing modalities is already done. There are so many natural healing modalities out there. Homeopathic medicine, herbs, energetic healing modalities. But we can't say to people, you have to choose for this or that, and you are not allowed to choose for chemotherapy or other allopathic drugs. From the new paradigm, the new earth, people are totally, absolutely free to make their own choices. Furthermore, people have the responsibility to inform themselves. That goes hand in hand. To steer or rule or impose things on people, even when we have good intent, we have to look into ourselves, in our own mind, where that need comes from. Because we are not others people's savior. People need to take responsibility to save themselves, to inform themselves, to become conscious themselves. And even the information about natural healing modalities is not the whole truth, because there is another layer underneath natural healing modalities. Because what is the cause of the dis-ease? So we even need to look further. Why are we going out of balance, out of harmony? Why is our body responding with a dis-ease? And there is lots of information out there in this deeper layer. Also, our biological bodies respond in a biological way to suddenly experienced trauma. That's why we go in dis-ease. But of course, there are toxins, etc. That's another story. We need to feed our bodies with healthy food. And when people have excess money to healthcare, they have the ability to inform themselves and to make their own choices as they wish. And again, of course, there are people who have not access to the internet and have not the possibility to inform themselves. Then we can go to those groups of people and inform them from a neutral point. It's very important. In the old days, people had free access to a piece of land. Indigenous peoples lived peacefully together in harmony until the predator invaded the land. The predator bringing and imposing their ideas regarding religion, medicine, healing, overruling the innate wisdom of the original people, wanting to be the in-between, the false gods. An organic living togetherness is not an idea, nor idealism, nor a plan, nor a project, but simply a heartfelt longing to live together in harmony with 7 billion people on the planet Earth. And from that point, people are able to co-create what they wish for. Now we have realized, we know that in the reality of the here and now, people need money to have access to a piece of land. You need to buy that piece of land, and because of that, you need money, obviously. Now you can be aware in your mind about concepts as ownership, what that means, being a good caretaker, stewardship, and of course you can discern ownership from being a good caretaker. So many people understand that we can't own nothing on this earth. We come with nothing and we go with nothing. And in between our birth and death, we have so many experiences. And the experiences we take with us, of course. It depends on if you apply your consciousness, your awareness in your own life and in your living togetherness, or if it's just something from the mind and you are a philosopher and discussing about concepts as ownership, stewardship, being a good caretaker. And it's kind of tooling and even fooling yourself when you say, I feel a resistance to ownership, but I can be a good caretaker for the land, giving back what I take. I leave it with that. But when you want to relate it to existence money, to the New Earth references, you want to apply it in your life. So suppose you have a piece of land, and on that piece of land, 10 people could live. When you apply the New Earth references onto your piece of land, then you do not consider yourself to be a boss, but also not to impose your ideas onto the living togetherness on your land. So your land would be free for people to access. So you could make an announcement on a plate at the edge of your land. Here 10 people can live. When people approach you and say, I want to live here, okay, you are very welcome. And that's it. That human can live according their own wishes. So you do not you do not impose your ideas onto them. When that human wants to live totally self-sufficient and don't want to be bothered with anything else, that would be very much okay. There are none conditions attached to the allowance of that human to be welcome on your land. That human is welcome, no matter what. The only and one rule would be do no harm. That's natural law. So no rules, no regulation, no controlling, nothing. Then you would apply the new earth references in your own life, in your own living togetherness. And then you walk the talk. So you can use all the right words, but it will only be from the mind when you do not apply them, when you do not walk the talk and walk the walk. When you do not want to live like that, then it would be honest when you acknowledge, yeah, right, I need money to buy a piece of land where I can build my own shelter, grow my own food. Period. No explanations will come after that acknowledgement, because it is fact. In the reality of the here and now, people need money to buy a piece of land. And it would be tooling and coping when you start explaining, looking for explanations, being it you have a resistance to ownership, using that as an excuse in the reality of the here and now. It would be, yes, I need money and I have money to buy a piece of land. And I can do so because I have access to the money. And people who do not have access to money can't buy a piece of land. So that's the discernment when we start tooling, using coping mechanisms, which are only from the mind and are being used as an excuse, you hide. I leave it for this in this episode. In the next episodes, I will go in more depth from my awareness about the transformative power and meaning of existence money and how to apply that in your own life. Thank you for listening, and I hope to welcome you in the next episode.